Hello friends. The Social Security Administration does not apply the same rules to everyone. Depending on the year you were born, your full retirement age is different, your claiming options are different, and the mistakes that can permanently reduce your monthly check are different. And right now in 2026, there are people in every one of these groups who are either receiving less than they're entitled to or are about to make a decision they cannot undo, simply because nobody sat down and explained what the rules actually are for their specific situation. Today, I'm going to do exactly that. Find your group, listen to what applies to you, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to check and what to do about it. Before we get into the groups, if you're not subscribed to this channel, please do that right now and turn on the bell. Here's why it genuinely matters. The rules around Social Security change constantly. Claiming ages, earnings limits, Medicare premiums, overpayment policies, and when they change, the SSA does not send you a personal explanation. They change the policy and expect you to already know. What I do on this channel is take those changes, break them down by what they actually mean for your specific situation, and get that information to you before the deadlines pass and before the mistakes are already made. Every group I'm covering today has something specific happening in 2026 that affects them directly. The people who are subscribed here find out about these things in time. The ones who aren't tend to find out after. After the wrong claiming decision, after the deadline, after the money is already gone. Hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and let's get into it. Group 1, born between 1943 and 1954. You are between 72 and 83 years old. You've been on Social Security for a while. Your full retirement age was 66, and at this point most people in this group assume there's nothing left to check. That assumption is costing some of you real money every single month. The first thing people in this group need to look at is whether they are collecting the right benefit. A significant number of widows and widowers in this age range are collecting their own retirement benefit when they would receive more on their late spouse's record or vice versa. The survivor benefit for a widow or widower can be up to 100% of what the deceased spouse was receiving, and in some cases, the number is substantially higher than what the surviving spouse receives on their own record. If you lost a spouse and have not specifically asked SSA to compare both options and put you on the higher one, there is a real chance you've been leaving money on the table for years. Call SSA at 1-800-772-1-2-1-3 and ask them to pull both figures and compare them directly. The second thing for this group involves Medicare, specifically the IRMAA surcharge. If your income was higher in previous years due to a sale of property, a Roth conversion, or any one-time event, Medicare may still be charging you extra based on that old income. IRMAA surcharges range from an extra $70 to nearly $500 on top of your standard Part B premium every month. The appeal form is SSA 44, and it exists specifically for people whose income has dropped due to a life-changing event. If you're paying more than $185 a month for Medicare Part B right now, it's worth asking why. Group 2, born between 1955 and 1959. You are between 67 and 71 years old, and this is the most critical group in 2026 because the rules are different for every single birth year in this range, and most people don't know their specific number. Here's the full retirement age breakdown for this group. If you were born in 1955, your full retirement age is 66 years and 2 months. Born in 1956, 66 years and 4 months. Born in 1957, 66 years and 6 months. Born in 1958, 66 years and 8 months. Born in 1959, 66 years and 10 months. That's your number, not 66, not 67, your specific month and year. Why does this matter so much right now? because people in this group are making or have recently made their claiming decision. And the difference between getting it right and getting it wrong is permanent. If you claimed at 62 with a full retirement age of 66 and 6 months, meaning you were born in 1957, your benefit was reduced by approximately 25.8%, and it stays at that reduced amount for the rest of your life. On a benefit of $2,000, that's $516 less every single month. Over 20 years, that's $123,000. The SSA does not remind you of this before you claim. They process the application. For people in this group who have not yet claimed, if you are past your full retirement age and still haven't filed, every month you delay earns you 2/3 of 1% more permanently. That compounds to roughly 8% per year. Between your full retirement age and age 70, you can accumulate up to 24 to 32% more per month for life depending on your exact birth year. On a $2,000 benefit, that's potentially $640 more every single month forever. And for those in this group who are currently working and collecting Social Security before full retirement age, the earnings test applies. In 2026, if you earn more than $23,400 in a year, SSA withholds $1 for every $2 over that limit. The money isn't gone forever. It gets credited back to your record once you reach full retirement age. But if you don't know this rule, that withheld amount can feel like your check just disappeared without explanation. Group 3, born between 1960 and 1965. You are between 61 and 66 years old. For everyone in this group, full retirement age is exactly 67. And right now, the most important thing for people in this group is understanding what happens if they claim before that. Claiming at 62 with a full retirement age of 67 reduces your monthly benefit by 30% permanently. On a $2,000 monthly benefit, that's $600 less every single month for the rest of your life. Over a 20-year retirement, that's $144,000 in cumulative losses compared to waiting until 67. The SSA will process the early claim without warning you about this. They'll ask if you understand that your benefit will be reduced. You say yes, and the reduced amount becomes your permanent number. There is also a claiming option most people in this group aren't aware of. If you apply after reaching full retirement age of 67, you can request up to 6 months of retroactive payments. SSA pays you as if you had applied up to 6 months earlier. On a $2,000 monthly benefit, that's a lump sum of up to $12,000 with your first check. The trade-off is a slightly lower ongoing monthly benefit since your start date moves back. The option exists, and almost nobody asks for it. For people in this group who are still 5 or 6 years away from claiming, the single most important thing you can do right now is check your earnings record. Go to ssa.gov, create a My Social Security account if you don't have one, and open your Social Security statement. Compare the earnings listed for every year against your own records. One incorrect year, an employer who submitted the wrong payroll amount in 1995, a freelance year that didn't get recorded, a job that closed and whose records were never transferred, reduces your monthly benefit by approximately $100. Find it now while you still have time to correct it, rather than discovering it after you've already claimed. Group 4, born in 1966 or later. You are 60 or younger. You are not close to claiming Social Security yet, and that's exactly why what I'm about to tell you matters so much, because the window to fix certain things without it costing you money is still open, and it won't stay open forever. Your full retirement age is 67. Claiming at 62 means a 30% permanent reduction. Waiting until 70 means up to 24% more than your full benefit, permanently. Those numbers are set. What isn't set yet is whether your earnings record is accurate. The Social Security Administration has been recording your payroll data since your very first job. That data came from your employers, and every year there was an opportunity for something to go wrong. A wrong number submitted, a year that got missed, a period of self-employment that didn't get reported correctly. Each error that goes uncorrected reduces your monthly benefit when you eventually claim by approximately $100 per missed year. If you worked through the 1980s and 1990s, the era of manual payroll processing, there is a real chance your record has at least 1 year that doesn't accurately reflect what you earned. The fix is straightforward, but it requires documentation, and documentation gets harder to find the longer you wait. W-2 forms, pay stubs, old tax returns, these things are easier to locate now than they will be in 15 or 20 years. Go to ssa.gov, open your Social Security statement, and compare the earnings listed for each year against whatever records you have. If something doesn't match, file a request for correction of earnings record with supporting documentation. The SSA processes these corrections, and your record gets updated. Do it now while you still have the paperwork, and while the fix is free. So, here's the summary by group. If you were born between 1943 and 1954, check whether you're on the right benefit record, especially if you're a widow or widower, and look into whether you're being overcharged on Medicare through an IRMAA surcharge. You may be able to appeal. If you were born between 1955 and 1959, know your exact full retirement age down to the month. Understand the permanent consequences of claiming early, and if you're still working while collecting before FRA, understand the earnings test. If you were born between 1960 and 1965, understand what a 30% permanent reduction means in real dollar terms before you make any decision, and check whether the retroactive lump sum option applies to your situation. And if you were born in 1966 or later, open your Social Security statement at ssa.gov today and verify your earnings record year by year while you still have time to correct it for free. Subscribe, share this with someone you know who's in one of these groups, and I'll see you in the next one.